first thing I noticed with this horse was obviously the bridle change. I'm not a keen lover on the market at Harborough, but I do think this is helping this horse. One thing you must make sure as you're doing this exercise is you use a lot of half halt to balance the horse and get the canter as soft as possible. But as you do the half halt, you must remember to keep using your leg. There's no point in doing a half halt and taking your leg off. The horse has to learn to become softer through the turn, and loads more outside leg will be required. In all fairness to you and the horse, when we built this grid exercise, this could probably be one of the hardest exercises this horse would have to encounter, with the 4 poles on the approach. I felt that it dealt with the situation very well. Just remember, when you have a situation like this, start in trot so the horse believes it can do it, and then proceed into canter. When you're going over the poles, again going back to what I spoke about in the previous exercise, make sure you use the half halt, so on your approach the horse is slowing itself down, and you as a rider, every time that front foot hits the floor, you're giving a little half halt to put the brakes on. But remember, as you got the brakes on, you still apply the leg. As the grid starts to proceed and get further on, make sure in between you half halt in the middle, and you keep your upper body position quiet in the saddle, not that you're moving about too much. When we moved on from the grid to linking the jumps together with the style and the spread, you can allow it running out at the style because it probably hasn't seen many styles. When you go into on the diagonal line to the spread, the reason why you're having the problems is because it's again falling out through the outside shoulder. Previously in the 3 pole on the circle exercise, this was the same mistake. So this is something that has to be worked upon. But overall, I feel this horse has improved in the last few weeks that I have seen it. When doing this exercise, there's a few key points you need to work on yourself. 1, the horse stays straight through the turns and doesn't go crooked in its neck and starts using its shoulder against you. And 2, that the canter pace is actually continuing to go forward and the canter is going somewhere across the ground. Not that the canter is just going up and down the spot. The strides in between the jumps are very good, but the canter around the top end was very poor. The horse was crooked and the canter was going up and down the spot. Again, this is something that needs to improve around a course of fences, so you're riding at the course builder's time allowed and you're not getting time faults. When watching this clip over these 4 poles, this highlights the canter pattern and what I spoke about when going over the 3 poles on the circle. When the horse spooks and comes around the corner, it stamps its front feet to the floor and the canter stride doesn't go anywhere. You as a rider must sit up tall, follow the contact down the rein and apply the leg, so as you come round the corner, the horse continues to canter forwards and take the stride over the pole, not that it goes up and down and starts to stutter. Remember, this horse, even though spooky, will always jump as long as you've got hold of his head and is committed with your leg. Make sure when you're jumping down the grid and you're over the 3 fences that as a rider you don't get left behind. This is a good time to practice with your position, push the lower leg down, get the weight into the heel, stay light in the saddle and go with the motion of the animal. When linking the fences together, very well ridden. You kept your shoulders up and you kept hold of the head, and this just proves that the horse will jump anything as long as you keep hold of its head. Over the spread, again watch you don't get left behind, but overall much improved from last week. You did this exercise very well. Just remember, when going through the turns and looking for distance, you always apply leg and make sure the canter is going forwards, not that the canter is going backwards with no lower leg on. So eventually when you start jumping, as you commit to the fence, the canter is powerful and determined, not that the canter isn't going anywhere and the horse doesn't know whether it's jumping or not. When moving on to the grid and having the 4 poles on the approach, this highlighted the commitment from you with the horse as you go around the corner over the poles. The horse was stuttering, wasn't making a true stride, and you as a rider did not have enough leg on. When you come through the turn, you must have your leg on, ride leg to hand through the corner, commit from the start to the end, and make sure when you get to the fences your leg's on and you're determined. Not that you're going round the corner half-heartedly, taking your leg off, and not making any canter strides through the turn. As we progressed through the grid and the fences went higher and more fences got added, I must admit your commitment through the corner got much better and the jump got much better, so very well done. When linking the jumps together, again you fell back into the hole of riding nervously and timidly with no canter and no determination through the corners. You must remember this horse, you must commit round the bends, follow the contact and ride with determination. This is something that needs to be overcome. Remember, you need to ride with confidence and trust her and ride her like a good horse, not a bad horse. Otherwise, if you ride her like a bad horse, well, she will behave like a bad horse. This is something that we need to improve on, and hiring of Arena is a must.